What's going on, guys? Blue Knight here. Today I want to show you how you can solo Birthplace of the Vile GM. We're going to be doing it on the Solar Warlock. Let's go over the subclass real quick. We've got Well of Radiance. I've tried using Daybreak. I tried using Strand because the surges are Strand and Solar this week, but it's tough. It is. It's just the way that I play, needed the sustainability, needed the survivability. So that's why I'm using Well of Radiance. Up next, we got Healing Rift, Burst Glide, Celestial Fire for the ranged melee. We'll talk about that more in the seasonal artifact. And then Healing Grenade. For our aspects, we're using Touch of Flames and Heat Rises. Touch of Flames, so that way it gives us restoration ×2. Heat Rises, so that way we can fire weapons, melee, and throw grenades all while gliding. Onto the fragments. The first two fragments deal with our healing grenade. So Ember of Solace, Radiant Restoration effects applied to you have increased duration. And then Ember of Empyrean, Solar Weapon or Ability Final Blows extend the duration of Restoration and Radiant effects applied to you. So that way, with Dragon's Breath, the exotic rocket launcher that we're going to be using, we can shoot it and then splash ourselves, and then any kill that it gets will extend the duration of Restoration and Radiant, which we end up doing quite a bit, and it works out very well. And then the last two are going to be over just dealing damage, but also with Dragon's Breath. We're kind of pumping more into Dragon's Breath. We got Ember of Char, so your Solar Ignition spreads Scorch to affected targets, and then Ember of Ashes, you apply more Scorch stacks to targets. I think it takes 10 Scorch stacks to get to an Ignition, so we apply more Scorch, and then our Ignition spread more Scorch. So it's just, you'll see that there are times in this GM where stuff is just blowing up constantly. Right? There's just ignition. And so that's why we want to run Ember of Ashes as well as Ember of Char. Onto the weapons here. We're going to be using Felteradiddle. I just realized during this GM that it has an intrinsic perk called Psycho Hack. Sustained damage from this weapon lowers the target's damage output for a short duration. So it's kind of like Slice minus having to use your class ability. You just have to hit them twice, actually, with this bow. Hit the same target twice, or they take damage twice from this bow. It'll cause Psycho Hack to be procced on them, and it outputs their damage, or it lowers the output of their damage. So it's just a very good perk to have. We were using Explosive Head, again, just so that way it does 10% more damage on crits and 13% more damage on body shots. So why not use it? It's a free more damage. And then Shoot to Loot, I recently just put it to the enhanced trait. So shooting an Orb of Power picks it up, shooting an ammo brick picks it up, and automatically reloads all of your equipped weapons from reserves, and it increases the range. There is no range stat here because it's a bow, but I ran the entire thing without any mod socket. If I did put a mod socket on it, though, it would 100% be boss spec, because we do use this on the boss and on champions and stuff quite a bit. So I would 100% run boss spec on this. Onto our energy weapon, we're going to be using the Amit AR2. We're using the Amit because we have Overload Auto Rifle on the seasonal artifact. And then we're using Felteradiddle because we are using Unstoppable Bow on the seasonal artifact as well. So there's both of our stuns for our champions with unlimited ammo. On the Amit, we have Dynamic Sway Reduction, the Enhanced trait, and then we have Enhanced Incandescent. So defeating a target spreads longer lasting Scorch to those nearby. That's a big deal. And then more powerful combatants and opposing guardians cause Scorch in a larger radius. And then Dynamic Sway Reduction rapidly improves accuracy and stability while continuously holding down the trigger. With the intrinsic perk Amalon Fluid Dynamics, this weapon has increased reload speed and stability for the top half of the magazine, which the stability part works out well because Dynamic Sway rapidly improves accuracy and stability while continuously holding down the trigger. So upon first trigger pull, we have increased reload speed and stability, and then towards the last half of the magazine, we still have that increased stability. And then we got Flared Magwell and Arrowhead Break. Both of these weapons are craftable, so I highly suggest crafting these. Amit is great in PvE and PvP. I don't really use it for PvP, but it is very good. And then Fell Taradiddle, I only use it for PvE, but it's just amazing. Dragon's Breath are heavy. I mean, everyone knows Dragon's Breath. We do have the catalyst for it. So this thing just absolutely just wrecks. This weapon is so much fun to use. Onto the artifact. The first column, we're utilizing Unstoppable Bow and Overload Auto Rifle. The second column, we're utilizing Kindling Trigger, Blast Radius, and From Whence You Came. The reason why we're using Blast Radius is because we're going to be using Dragon's Breath to take out mobs in the last room. So rapid final blows with rocket launchers and grenade launchers grant an armor charge. We want this. Kindling Trigger, Radiant causes solar weapons to apply Scorch to unscorched combatants. Our Amit will be able to apply Scorch once we're Radiant. And then From Whence You Came increases ability damage to Taken and Scorn combatants. We are going up against Taken and Scorn combatants, so or at least Scorn combatants, so we're just going to go ahead and use this. The third column, we're going to be utilizing Flint Striker, Rapid Solar Weapon Precision Hits, and Rapid Solar Weapon Final Blows grant Radiant. Radiant's just a damage buff to outgoing damage with the weapons, so that's why we're using it. Wished into Being, if we're close to our super and we get an ability Final Blow, it spawns an Orb of Power, just so we can get our super back faster if we need it. Fourth column, the two must-haves, Revitalizing Blast, causing damage with a solar ability, weakens champions and bosses for a short duration. That's why we want the ranged melee, it's a Celestial Fire, so that way we can weaken things from a distance, which we end up doing a couple times. And then Overload Rocket Launcher, it's just because there's Overload champions, they're the worst champion in the game, and we're using Dragon's Breath, which is a lingering rocket, so it's very good with overloads. Fifth column, the two must-haves, Raise of Precision, while Radiant, Solar Precision Final Blows cause combatants to ignite. We've got Ignition, Spread Scorch, and we spread more Scorch, so we might as well ignite things. And then Solo Operative, we are going to be doing the solo, so while you are the only member of your fire team, you deal increased damage to all combatants. It's just a general damage buff to do things solo. Onto the armor, we're using Phoenix Protocol for our exotic. Let's take a look at the intrinsic perk. Kills and assists you make while standing in your Well of Radiance return super energy. It's just, Phoenix Protocol is an absolutely amazing, it's just absolutely amazing. It really is. It's an S tier. I put this up there with Dawn Chorus. Both of these for Solar Warlocks are S tier, in my opinion. Just, they're so good. So now let's look at what we're putting on our armor. I suggest getting Resilience up to 100 first, then Recovery, then Discipline. I have an intrinsic 106 Discipline with the plus 10 from Ember of Char. I believe it's Ember of Char. Yeah, Ember of Char gives us plus 10 Discipline, so that's why we're at 106, but we don't have to put anything else into it. I unfortunately had to put everything else into Resilience, and I wasn't able to get my Recovery up. I had 6 more. I had two Artifice armors, and so I was like, all right, what am I going to put? What can I put 6 into that'll do something? Well, I was able to get Intellect up to the next tier, so we're going to get our super back just a little bit faster. Didn't want to waste anything, because 6 into anything else wasn't going to do anything for us. On the helmet, we've got Harmonic Siphon, so that way we create Orbs of Power on rapid solar weapon final blows. We're using double heavy ammo finder, so that way multiple copies of this mod increase the ammo gained per drop, and we're doing that on top of Harmonic Scavenger. We're going to be using Dragon's Breath quite a bit in this, so we want all the ammo we can get. Dreambane are on our gloves. We've got Impact Induction, so when causing damage with a powered melee, it reduces your grenade cooldown. And then again, another powered melee thing, grants class ability energy when you cause damage with a powered melee. So we just want to, it's just ability regen. On to, and then Harmonic Loader, so that way we reload our Amit faster. Dragon's Breath has, when you scorch targets, it will reload itself. So it pretty much has auto-loading holster. That's why we're using Harmonic Loader primarily for Amit. Onto the chest piece, I highly recommend you running double arc single void resistance. This is what's going to help you tank a lot of things in the boss room and throughout, i.e. the Screebs, the Scorn launchers, all of those things. They're just so annoying. Onto the leg armor, we're running Absolution. So it reduces all ability cooldown each time you pick up an Orb of Power. Harmonic Scavenger, so that way whenever we pick up our heavy ammo, we get even more. And then Recuperation replenishes health each time you pick up an Orb of Power. We're going to be creating a lot of orbs. I realize here too, after doing the GM, that once I have an armor charge, I'm not doing anything with that armor charge. So if I had to make a suggestion on the legs here, instead of running Absolution, I 100% would just run a Solar Weapon Surge. I would just run that. So that way we have Decaying Armor Charge. We're going to be creating a bunch of orbs that we can pick up at all times. Plus we have Shoot to Loot on Felteradiddle. And then instead of on your bond, instead of running Powerful Attraction, or actually instead of running double distribution, I would run Time Dilation, Powerful Attraction, and then a single distribution. This is just hindsight after doing the GM. It wasn't the best optimized, and here's how I would optimize it. So yeah, legs, Solar Weapon Surge, Harmonic Scavenger, and Recuperation, and then onto the bond. We're doing distribution, time dilation, and powerful attraction. I'm not a huge fan of powerful attraction, but I like the ability to grab orbs that are going to give us a burst of healing with recuperation from a distance just by using our class ability. From there, I believe that is it. So without further ado, let's jump into it. All right, so we're loading into the GM here. This is a voiceover again, so we're kind of... I find myself getting distracted a lot trying to explain everything while I'm doing these GMs. So I'm going to kind of just record it silent and then do a voiceover like this afterwards. So here at the beginning, we're going to get whatever weapon you have out to stun Unstop champions. We have our bow, we have Felteradiddle. We stun them, put a rocket in them, just trying to get as much damage out as we can to take less time in this first part. There's an ignition there. Took out a few of the combatants there. Another good thing about the exotic heavy that we're using is it creates fire sprites on kills. So fire sprites help you get your grenade back. It's just a good thing to have. Stun him again. This guy's really aggro, so he'll just kind of push you the entire time. Don't really worry about it too much, though. There's this little, I don't know, these blockades here that you can hide behind and just play Ring Around the Rosie with them. We get that finisher off. I'm not using Strand. When I was using Strand, I would finish him, and then it would make a tangle. I was looking around for the tangle for a little bit. Here, just jump over. Don't get your Sparrow too far forward, please. I've been killed by my Sparrow I don't know how many times. Here we go. We're waiting for stuff to spawn in. I splash. Stun the ground. I'm glad I splashed myself there. That so you can see our restoration here. It just keeps going up via just that one Dragon's Breath shot that we sent. And here again, Dragon's Breath. We're just sending it to try and deal with as many combatants as we can. These wraiths are extremely annoying. I believe I took out the that other champion there with Dragon's Breath. We've still got restoration going, so I don't really have to be too scared here. But I end up just trying to play it safe, backing way up. We did not take out the other overload there. I remember this now. He's fully healed. Go ahead and take him out. We're just going to put another rocket in him. There we go. He has been taken out. So that's both overloads here at the very beginning. After that, we're going to go down here. We're going to fire a rocket into, I believe we're going to either stun and fire a rocket, or yeah, we're just going to fire a rocket into the Unstop champion here. And that's going to kill everything around it. Go ahead and splash myself with a healing grenade because it, you know, kills with solar weapons, which our heavy is a solar weapon. Just like that, we're able to get max restoration ×2. Put a rocket into the boss here. I should have stunned him before doing anything else, but there we go. We got that. We got a heavy brick out of that. Be careful of those raiders, those like Void crossbow raiders, they will one-tap you if you're not 100% HP. Like right now, they would one-tap me. So just got to be careful with that. Gonna sit here and just try and take him out. There's that guy. There we go. All right, so everything, you know, everything has been taken out when the objective in the left changes. On the top left, when that objective changes. This next encounter, we're gonna be doing it the smart way, in my opinion. We're gonna go start it, and then we're just gonna back up. We're gonna come right back to here where I'm standing, that little low area, and we're just gonna play it safe. This takes about 2 minutes to do, but it's not the end of the world. There we go. We've got ×10 restore. We got 10 seconds of restoration. Restoration ×2. Here's our well. I don't know why I welled there with restoration, but Phoenix Protocol is absolutely nuts. I just realized I never said in the build video what we're going to be using for our exotic chest piece, so I'm going to have to re-record that. But Phoenix Protocol is what we're using for our chest piece, and it's, I mean, we're almost 3/4 to our super, and it just ran out. So, not the end of the world. Here again, we're just going to be using Dragon's Breath as much as we can to take out those Screebs and anything else that might be coming that way. I panicked a little bit and got a little scared from the Screebs pushing me. We've got shoot to loot. I could pick up that orb, but we're full armor charge. I tried to splash myself there before he ignited, but it didn't quite work out. So we do unfortunately end up running out of restoration there, which might put us in a pickle, but it's just cooldown management. I guess something I got to work on. So again, it takes about 2 minutes to sit here and take out all these guys. You can back up as far as you need. You don't have to stay here. You can go all the way back to the last encounter if you needed to, but it just takes longer. The scorch that I was able to spread from incandescent on those 3 Screebs ignited the 4th Screeb. There's some more ignitions. Watch out for these grenades, those void grenades. Those will take you out in like 2 or 3 seconds if you stand in them. So just do be careful about that. I'm listening. I'm like, all right, I don't hear anything. I think we're good. I see this guy here. Go ahead and take him out. Before standing on the plate, I just want to make sure everything in the room is taken out, because I'm a goofball and I like to emote on this plate. I'm looking around for ammo. I see ammo behind me, but we're full, so we don't necessarily need it. And that's that encounter. Super easy. You just gotta sit back, let them come to you when everything's you'll know when stuff's taken out, because you won't hear anything else spawn in. Clear the room. After that, just sit on the plate. All right, this next area, don't go out of this room. Stay on this side of the door and just take out as many things as you can. Again, watch out for those void grenades. They will cause havoc. Waiting for him to re-peek. I knew he was going to re-peek because I could see the damage numbers moving to the left. All right, these guys. There are 6 corrupted raiders. Once it gets down to 2 of them, the last 2 will retreat back to the Overload and Unstop champion up on the platform to the right. So just don't worry about if you're not able to take them all out. You kind of can't take them all out unless, you know, you're running a heavy, like a heavy machine gun or something, that you're able to just murk them down. So you see here, there's that last guy. He's going to start jumping back over. Both of them are going to start jumping back over. Get a little bit of damage on him. You see how that guy's glowing red? That's the psycho hack. That's the intrinsic perk of the bow, lowering the output, the damage output. So not once did I ever, you know, Light.gg has this bow as, you know, a 4.9 out of 5 stars for PvE. And I was like, why? Like, why is that? And now I know why. It's just the perks plus the intrinsic trait is just super good on Felteradiddle. So, right here, we're just going to plink at this guy from a distance. Just trying to do as much damage as we can. This is a safe run, not a fast run. I see that the champion's going to the right. He usually does that when he starts to push you. So, and how you can get him to push you is move forward a little bit. With Psycho Hack active on the champion there, it's super easy. He's deciding to hide, so I'm pushing forward a little bit here, trying to get him to, you know, I'm trying to bait him out and push me a little bit. I end up getting stuck on that little rock there that threw me through a loop. I'm just trying to do anything to get them stirred up. So there we go. I was able to stir him up a little bit there because just that guy hiding is annoying. Wait, the stunning shot. We'll go ahead and stun him. Again, this is just a safe way to do this. We plink him. Once this guy is taken out, then it'll be a lot faster. We'll just use a Dragon Breath round on the Overload and take him out. But as you can see, even just a stunned body shot, we're doing over 4,000 damage to him per shot. So, and it's like 7k per headshot. So it's not horrible. I turned up my sensitivity on my mouse a little bit, so because I had to get a smaller mouse pad, and I'm still not used to it at all. I'm trying not to stun the champion here because he's just going to get stunned behind cover. So here, there we go. Yeah, we're doing almost 8,000 damage to him with a stun crit headshot. So, our stun crit shot. So again, slow and steady. This guy is our biggest issue because of his arc attacks. They are extremely annoying. To be honest, the pre-Ashenax bow is a little bit better at taking these guys out. It does a little bit more damage, but there's a bug with the stunning recovery trait where after you stun a champion, the bow kind of glitches out for a couple minutes or for a couple seconds. You can't do anything with it, so you have to swap and do other things. I think it's a bug. It might be a feature because that intrinsic perk is so strong. So here we're going to push forward. There we go. We get a stun off on him. I miss that rocket. I freak out. I start backing up a little bit. I was like, all right, that was on me. Reset. We're going to take out that totem there. And then I'm just going to stun him. Make sure I get a rocket on him this time. We're just going to keep lighting him up with some of our auto rifle. I get that melee off, so that way we can stun him, or not stun him, we can weaken him. That way I know our rocket will be able to take him out. There's a few heavy bricks up here, which is nice. That double heavy ammo finder, only at one point in this Nightfall do we find ourselves needing more ammo, but we do end up finding it. So we're pushing through here. This is just the running simulator part. Hope y'all are enjoying these videos. I try to start doing these GMs right as soon as the GM rolls out. It usually takes me a day or two to get it done. This GM, though, I've saved all of the videos, and I'm going to put like a death montage up. Here, we're going to come out to the left. We're going to Dragon's Breath the door. I think it works really well this time. I've had a few times. Actually, no, this is the time that it didn't work. Everything comes out at us. So I fired it a little late. I wasn't able to get it off in time. So just be smart. Once you take out a few guys, they'll start retreating back into the room, as you can see here. I'm going to sit here. I heard something behind me, so I turned around, but just play smart. Once you're low HP, I don't have to use my healing abilities. So here, we're going to jump in, we're going to well, and then we're going to focus on the Overload champion. That's going to stun him, but we're just going to focus him. Not worried about anything else around me. Now that the Overload champion's taken out, it's kind of slim. It's just free low in this room. Once again, the only reason I didn't die there because of those grenades was because of well. Take everything out. We're almost 3/4 to our super again. just from this one room. See, those guys, the lurkers. Those little metal shields are so annoying. I am Radiant. If I didn't have Overload auto rifle on, I'd be able to shoot through those shields, but I have Overload auto rifle on. Go up to the left. Luckily, the explosion from the Dragon's Breath took out that totem. Did you see how many ignitions were there? Dude, the ability to spread more Scorch is underrated. Highly underrated. These corruptions, you can just clear it and run straight through. You don't have to wait for the teleporter to pop up. I don't want to use Dragon's Breath here, so just stay back, take them out one at a time. I do have my melee ability. I do end up using my melee ability at one point, I believe. So, apologize if you can hear my phone. I keep getting these, I keep getting notifications on here. All right, anyway, be careful. I end up splashing myself here and then ego challenging the Raider. It's able to give us a little bit more restoration. We're not going to need it for this part. We're going to pull out our bow. And we're going to just plink at these Raiders. They can't shoot at us from this distance, but we can. Those are both taken off. What we're going to do is we're going to jump to the second port, or the second platform. The reason why we're jumping to the second platform is because it's going to spawn these guys in. Those Raiders. It'll spawn them in and they'll push you. That's why I shot Dragon's Breath there. So that way I don't have to worry about anything. I just go and launch it and go. And take this last Screeb out. There we go. We're going to stun him. I see that there's heavy ammo here in front of me, so we're just going to keep that. I didn't see that Screeb. I am so lucky there that I didn't get taken out by that Screeb. It was a definite pucker moment. Just keep putting damage into him so that way he can't heal with our auto rifle or whatever weapon you have that'll stun overloads. All right, through that last teleporter, I don't like to hold W because I've fallen off the map there a few times or ran into the wall. This section, you can do this entire first part from outside from this doorway here. What we're going to do is we're going to stun the champion, then we're going to launch a rocket into him and just let that do as much damage as we can. There's 46,000 damage plus 7k, just plenty of damage going around there. Again, if I didn't have to run Overload Auto Rifle, I would love this Amit while Radiant. The anti-barrier properties that you get from it are sick. Go ahead and take out as many things as I can. I know I stunned the champion there, but not a big deal. We're just stunning that one, getting a little bit of stun damage in on him. Do that stun there. Try and do as much damage to this Raider. I was trying to kill the Raider before he got to cover, so that way I could get some Scorch on the Abomination here, but the guy on the right's shooting at us, but if you do a head glitch, like a little head glitch here on this ledge in front of us, they won't really hurt you that much. Or they won't hit you at all. This guy ends up pushing us to the left, so I'm going to stun that guy down there so I can challenge this guy on the left without him shooting at me. That guy's taken out. Now we just got to focus on the one other Unstop. Again, these are going to be our main issue champions, in my opinion. I look and see if that guy to the left dropped heavy ammo. He didn't, so I'm not going to use another rocket on this guy. We're just going to keep using our bow. Wait for the next stun shot, stun him. Keep laying into him. Yeah, we're doing almost 8,000 damage with a crit headshot, with a crit shot with this bow and explosive head. There we go. Now they're taken out. These guys right here. So that ledge that you see him hiding behind, there can be multiple people hiding behind there. Just be careful. See, there's like 2 or 3 there. This run, just be careful because I've died to him before. Got to shoot these guys in the knees because of that shield. All right. Looking around for ammo. We do have full heavy. This left plate is the worst plate, in my opinion. It's the hardest plate to do. The plan here is just to get on it well and slay out. That's what we want to do. I look and see where they're spawning. Both of them are spawning down low. I go ahead and well here. And then now we're just focusing on taking everything out. I try and take those guys out as fast as I can. I hear the guy to the left spawning in, so we go ahead and hit him with a Dragon's Breath. Luckily, that's able to take him out. He does get one of these totems off, but no big deal. We're just living. I see that we've got 5 seconds left in our well. That guy's got that shield, and there are a bunch of Screebs pushing in, so I decide to back up, play it safe. These guys will not despawn. They'll chase you around the entire room, so just be smart, be safe, run around, try and do damage to them. I try and get to high ground here so that way we're able to get a little tactical advantage on them and be able to shoot down at them. But these orange bar Screebs are scary. And then these guys, the lurkers, again, the shield, the little metal shield that they have stopping everything is kind of crazy, but no big deal. I could have used a sidearm here or something, but I wanted to be able to have an unlimited ammo weapon that can stun overloads. So that's the first plate. Relatively easy with the well, and we have well again for our second plate. Dude, that's like Phoenix Protocol is just absolutely ridiculous. At the base of the stairs is the first spawn point, and then across the little jump here are the other 2 spawn points. Again, we're going to launch a rocket, take these guys out, pop our well, and then wait. We're waiting for these guys to pop up. I try and stun the first guy to proc, not an ignition, but to proc some Scorch on him. There we go. The Scorch actually was able to take that guy out. And then we're just waiting. This plate is done, but I want to take these guys out to get some heavy ammo. I end up freaking out a little bit there because I got stuck on this relic or whatever is to the left. I hear the Screeb running behind me. That's why I'm like, all right, I need to just not stand still. I need to not shoot. I need to run. I decide to go over here because if they keep chasing me, then they'll have to jump like this guy. He's stuck in an animation. He jumped and like dodged. So then that second guy that jumped over, almost like if I jumped over any sooner, he would have knocked us off into the hole, into the pit. So again, the only reason I'm doing this is just to try and find some more heavy ammo. We've got 7 rounds. Luckily, we did get some heavy ammo here, and that does put us back at full. We don't need any more orbs. We've got our super again. This room, my ultimate plan is just to live. So I end up launching a rocket into here at the Unstop champ and then leaving. Splash ourselves so that way we get the solar weapon final blows, extend restoration just in case we need it. Lots of explosions. I'm trying to figure out where the boss is by listening for him here. I hear him coming up on the right. We're just going to use our bow a little bit, plink away at him. Psycho Hack's active on him, you can tell because he's glowing red. Get the next stun ready, pop out, stun him. There we go. I didn't know this guy was here, so he kind of took me by surprise, but with heat rises, we're able to take this guy out pretty easily. He's a melee guy, so as long as we stay in the air, he's just not going to be able to hit us. They just have a lot of HP. I'm looking around for anything, and I'm like, all right, let's look back here. Wait, I've got almost full ammo, and I saw nothing drop back there, so let's just keep going. This section, don't go too far down on the left or on the right, whichever side you choose to do first. We're just going to use our bow. I'm going to do this because I know that these guys are going to be able to shoot at me, so we're just going to use our bow, plink at them as much as we can. Watch out behind you because these corrupted Ravagers will sneak up behind you. So yeah, like I said, be careful about that. Get that guy taken out. We're going to back up here, play smart. I don't see the guy to the right at all, those corrupted Ravagers, so we're just going to kind of keep keep pushing on. I keep looking back because I don't know if they're chasing me or not, and I don't want to get caught off guard by those guys. Go ahead and take that guy out, and then keep pushing forward again. We're just using our bow. I'm not trying to use any heavy ammo. The explosive head on the bow does AoE damage, so even if we hit the lurker shields, we're able to still do damage to them. I do end up getting a little bit complacent here and not looking behind me, but I don't hear anything. I have to dance to the left and to the right side of this pillar in front of me because this guy just wants to keep hiding. I look behind me, make sure nothing's there. There's an overload champion up here. All we really need to do is just stun him and take him out and get out of here. So launch a rocket into him. There's no heavy ammo, but I think 7 rockets. We're not to the final boss yet. I got plenty of time to save up some more rockets. Nothing behind me still. I saw that corrupted Ravager coming up, so let's just go ahead and take him out real quick. Deal with him. There's usually one more corrupted Ravager, but I'm not going to stick around and find out where he is. This room. Don't go in. Just don't go in there. We're going to use a rocket. Try and take out as many guys as we can before going in. So here, again, I don't like overload champions at all. They're just super annoying. Let's destroy this. We're going to stun that guy, get a rocket on him. Again, I just don't like him. We're going to use this bow because it does more damage at range. I knew that the rocket launcher was getting ready to do the final blow up, so I went ahead and swapped to my Amit to get some damage on him. Again, we're just going to take this guy out with our auto rifle, just trying to save some ammo. I do end up getting a little low here, but I should put down a healing rift right now. Yep. And then that allows me to ego challenge him a little bit more. I was so worried that this overload chieftain was going to move to the left. This whole time I remember thinking, all right, if he goes left, where am I going to go? But there we go. He's taken out. Let's keep pushing forward here. Go ahead and grab this engram, even though I don't need it. This long ramp part. Just don't go all the way down. I use Dragon's Breath quite a bit here, or a few times here. Wait for people to funnel in. We'll hit the first guy, and then that'll just do an exponential amount of damage to everything else around it. Go ahead and get Psycho Hack procced on this guy, so that way we don't have a solar damage resistance on. So if he does hit us, it's just gonna be you know, not as much damage. Also, I did not know that those totems counted as people and they would drop heavy ammo. I had no idea. Those 3 grenades there would have one shot kill me. Would have just, the second grenade landing would have killed me there if I didn't have the void damage resistance on, if I didn't see him coming, and if I wasn't paying attention. I'd have died there 100%. Again, use another rocket. I see a heavy ammo brick there. We're going to pick that up. It's going to get us back to full. I'm trying to figure out what I should do here. Again, slow crawl. We're just going to sit here and plink at him. Get that Psycho Hack procced, so that way we're not taking as much damage from these shots. Get that Psycho Hack proc back on them, so that way they don't do that much damage. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to speed up this entire part. because I end up taking out everything else with my bow, and it takes a couple minutes to do that. So just play it smart. Like I said, I do everything with the bow. I get this off, and I try to get the stun off before it hits him, but it ends up not doing that. But yeah, after that one rocket, I just end up using my bow on everything. So I'll see you guys after both of these unstops have been taken out. All right, now that they're taken out, I'm sitting here looking. I was like, why are these guys getting debuffs or whatever? And then I realized, oh, Psycho Hack. That's the perk. I was like, oh, that's pretty neat. This bow is pretty good. All right, final boss room. Main objective here: keep moving, keep running around, keep moving. Don't get stagnant. I'm debating here whether I should explain it all now or wait. I just decided to wait. Just keep moving. There's going to be an overload that spawns right here in the middle up top. So once we clear the corruption, we're going to jump up left, and then we're going to launch a rocket in there and try to take him out as fast as we can. I splash so that way I can get the restoration ×2. There we go. That was extremely good. Went ahead and take him out. We did an okay amount of damage to the boss as well. He kept igniting even after the rocket was done. So again, launch a rocket. That's primarily what we're using our heavy for in this GM, is just to try and take out the waves of mobs. You only really need to do that on the first and second wave that spawns in, though. I believe here in a little bit I end up using my well. Maybe not right now. Oh, I do end up using my well here. I didn't want to die. I saw myself get hit, so I was like, nah, I'm going to do that. All right, we'll proc Psycho Hack on this guy, so the damage that he outputs is a little bit less. I see those guys spawning into the right. We'll get a rocket over there. He ends up getting over there to get 2 ignitions put on him. Wait a little bit, get the rocket out. Everything else is taken out. I should have splashed myself there. Hindsight's 20/20. We're using an exotic weapon to take all these guys out too, so we're able to get quite a bit of heavy ammo here. Again, there's another mob of just a gaggle of mobs that spawn in. Take them all out as fast as you can. Run over here, grab this. I look where the boss is. Go ahead and launch this. We're going to run in front of him and pick up this ammo. There's an ignition on the boss. There's another ignition on the boss. All from that residual fire just sitting on the ground from Dragon's Breath. We're going to dance around this pillar here for a second. I'm trying to run around too because I don't know. I think that's the last of them. I'm not 100% sure at this point, but I'm thinking in my mind, well, nothing's spawning in, so this is my favorite spot to sit, is behind this left display. Not 100% sure why this is my favorite spot, but it is. We're just going to try and keep Psycho Hack procced on him, so that way he outputs less damage. Pre-Ashenax will one-shot those totems, whereas this does not. But you move, like, this is a lightweight frame versus the other one's a compound bow, so you actually move faster with Felteradiddle out. And then the intrinsic perk works on all combatants, not just on like stunning a champion or something like pre-Ashen Axe. But again, we're just doing this smart. I don't want to waste too much ammo because I know that I've got 2 more rounds of like 7 waves of adds per round. I want to save as much heavy ammo as I can because it works really well taking them out. Slow boss damage, but it's all right. We'll get him here. All right, again, this section, I just back up, take everything out as slow as or as fast as I possibly can, as safe as I can. We end up having to reload here, so I use my my melee there. Scoot forward here. I go left and I peek this to make sure that there aren't any Screebs left. He's curving these shots around the wall at me, so super annoying. I'm not standing in the rift there, I realize, so I gotta come up here. There we go. As long as I'm peeking through the rift, I guess, it heals me. Wasn't the best rift spot, but it works. We just gotta adjust our play style to meet the demands of healing. Again here, we're just gonna pull out our bow, plink at these guys. Any heavy ammo that you find in this area, the first time you come through it, you can leave it here, and it'll stay the entire time. I end up opting against shooting my rocket there because, again, I realized, I was like, man, the boss is coming up. I don't know if I'm going to get heavy ammo. There's like 7 to 8 gaggles of mobs that spawn in, so I might as well just take everything out with my bow / auto rifle. I see that there are a few Screebs down there, so heat rises, doing magic again. Kind of put myself in a weird position here by jumping. Should have saved my melee there, but hindsight's 20/20. I go up against the wall to slow my descent there because it's a slanted wall. The reason why I should have saved my my melee is so that way I could use it on this guy. Just stun him. I see a heavy rocket in front of me, so that way that's why I'm comfortable or a heavy brick in front of me. That's why I'm comfortable using a one of the rockets here, but I am not gonna continue to use another one. That filled us up, that heavy ammo. Back here, there's going to be an overload. I'm sorry, an unstop that spawns in one of these spots, either here to the left or over to the right. I unfortunately launched my rocket in the wrong spot. I do have well, however, so I'm kind of waiting for them to push me. I see that they're coming around here. We're going to well right here in the middle. Not a smart spot to well. I'm just able to live because I have, you know, the discipline or the recovery and the resistance mods on my chest armor. That's the only reason I'm able to live there. Should have stayed in the well, but the boss was there immune, so I'm not gonna just sit there and wait for him. We'll get our super back pretty quick. Go ahead and take out that other over there, that other totem. Again, just try and keep moving. Use your rockets to take out everybody that you can. You can use your healing grenade before you launch your rocket, so that way you will get some healing back from all of that. I see that those guys are spawning in. I shoot it a little bit early because I want it to take out that immortality totem. It ends up doing that late, but it does end up doing that nonetheless. I'm trying to proc. I was like, dude, I need to proc Psycho Hack on these guys. No, I don't. I just need to live, run around. We've still got Restoration ×2 cooking, so I'm okay here. Waiting for that one moment where I can stop worrying about all the ads that spawn in and just simply worry about the boss. There we go. Get another rocket down there. We ran out of restoration here. I didn't realize it until now, but no big deal. I see a bunch of people pushing me here, so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stay safe. I'm just going to go ahead and well. I choose to shoot the rocket up against that that wall there, and I'm kind of staying away from it, so that way the ignition goes off and it doesn't kill me. Again, another rocket. Try and take out all these immortality totems. Yeah, Phoenix Protocol is such a good thing to have in this GM. I tried to do it probably 15 times let's say I did it 10 times on Strand, tried to do it 10 times on Strand. I just don't have a decent enough Strand build, I think. I don't know. I'll have to look through the aspects and fragments again. This week it is Solar and Strand Surge, so that's why I'm using Solar here. My other Solar build was Apex Predator, Epical Integration, and this bow, but Epical Integration doesn't have the range, plus with Daybreak, I just needed more survivability, some more sustainability. I just needed to live. And that's where Well of Radiance comes into play. We got our well again. That's our third time. That's our third well this phase. There's no more things that are going to spawn in, and I don't believe I end up using my heavy at all here. I just keep using my bow. So I'll be back. I'm going to fast forward this whenever we are getting ready to be TP'd into the next room. All right, we're able to take him out there. This room, kind of like any other room, or kind of like the last time we were in this room, we're just gonna plink at him. Be careful of the corrupted Ravagers. When we get to the second plate, I'll start talking about the next room, because honestly, you can just, and you'll see, you just burn the boss in the second room. I end up pulling out the Amit here because I don't want these guys to push me too much. I do see that they are pushing me though, 2 of them. So that's why I'm just waiting to back up with the Amit. I don't see anybody else pushing me to the right yet. All right, I believe all those guys are taken out. Again, I don't see anybody pushing me. Trying to take him out from a distance, but a little tough to do. Like I said, I up my sensitivity on my mouse a little bit, so I'm still trying to get used to, the speed of it. This next room, though, once we teleport back, there's going to be an Overload champion that spawns in. Melt them as fast as you can, and then honestly, just melt the boss. You don't have to sit there and take out every single wave. I got fortunate in the next room, and the final boss and the champion are kind of like close to each other, so I'm just launching rockets at him. I feel like it's a dungeon at that point. I'm just trying to do as much damage in a small amount of time as I can. Also, solo dungeon videos coming out soon. That's going to be the next series that I'm going to be working on. There we go. Chieftain has been taken out. I end up going back for this one heavy ammo. All right, again, this next room. Right as soon as you come out, there's going to be an Overload champ spawning in, plus the boss, plus all the other mobs. I go ahead and get Dragon's Breath ready. I'm going to go in well and try to just take it out as fast as I can. So I see that they're spawning in here in the middle. I'm going to do this. We're going to get that stunned on them. That's just a whole lot of damage. And then I'm sitting there thinking, I was like, you know what? I can just melt this guy. That's all I need to be doing right now, is focusing on melting this guy. The champion's down. Let's just kill this guy as fast as we can. Again, so we're going to do a rocket. We're going to destroy that. I'm not really caring about the other guys unless they are a threat to me, unless they come too close to me. But just melt, melt, melt. There we go. Took them out. I wasn't sure if those guys were going to despawn or not. There we go. Well of Radiance is all I needed. It's insane on how good Well is and Phoenix Protocol. But anyway, hope y'all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. If you need help doing GMs or anything like that, let me know. I'm live on Twitch, a couple days a week. So if you go down in the description, you'll see my link there, and you'll be able to follow me. You'll be able to be notified when I go live, and I record these live. All right. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one.